welcome. You're watching Nothing But the Truth. Arvind Kejriwal has said he'd like to see Sheila Dikshit in Tihar jail within 2 months. On the other hand, the Congress party is considering making her the chief ministerial candidate in UP or the general secretary in charge of Punjab. So one way or another, Sheila Dikshit is very definitely at the top of the news this weekend. But today she's agreed to be my exclusive guest and talk about both developments. Mrs. Dikshit, let's start with yourself before we come to the reorganization that many believe is happening inside the Congress party. On Thursday, the Lieutenant Governor sent a fact-finding committee report about the alleged 400 crore scam in the DJB, about tankers that were acquired and hired when you were chairman, to the Anti-Corruption Board for action and investigation. Are you upset by that development, or were you expecting it?
No, I'm not at all upset by it, because I know what the truth is. I haven't seen the report, nobody has seen the report. And I think the Lieutenant Governor, Chief Minister, having sent it to him, whatever they've written, I don't know what report they've written, was bound to send it to the ACB, the Anti-Corruption Board. But I am very confident. We have nothing to hide and nothing was done to the best of my knowledge. But I would rather wait. Let the report come out, let's see what happens.
Now, Arvind Kejriwal, speaking in the Delhi Assembly, has said, and he said it publicly, that he wants to see you in Tihar jail within 2 months. How do you respond to that very personal, targeted comment?
How can you respond to Arvind Kejriwal saying this? What does he mean by saying sending me to Tihar jail? It's not he who's going to send me, but he wants to say it. He's a loose cannon. He goes and says whatever he wants to and makes promises which he does not fulfill, and criticizes his, opponents whatever way he wants to. So he's a law unto himself. He's a person unto himself. I don't want to comment on that. Let us see what will happen.
So you don't take that comment seriously at all?
Not at all. Not at all.
And you don't find it upsetting?
I don't find it upsetting coming from him. Had it come from somebody other than him, who was, a serious political person or a serious person, then I would have been upset. Certainly I would have been. But I don't get upset with him at all.
Now, according to the newspapers, and I'm talking about the Indian Express as well as the Hindu, it said that you bypassed rules and laws, that you awarded tenders at unjustified rates, and therefore, as chairman of the DJB, you were responsible for the DJB making a loss. How do you respond to those charges?
Certainly not. Proper procedures were followed. The DJB has engineers, and with a chief engineer, it have a CEO, which is normally a senior IAS officer. Then it has members, a vice chairman and chairman, which happens to be the chief minister. Now, all procedures were properly followed, and these are tankers which give clean water because they are stainless steel tankers. I'd like to ask Mr. Kejriwal one thing. Are they still continuing with the tankers? I am told they are. If they are continuing with the tankers and paying for them, then why are they raising a finger at us?
In fact, I'll take up that point in particular, because although they claim they've discovered a deal which they allege is corrupt and where you're involved in that, therefore they're pointing the finger of corruption at you, they have done nothing whatsoever to cancel that contract.
Exactly.
The contract has continued for 11 months after their alleged discovery of it, which means that if the contract was corrupt, the corruption under the contract has been compounded and extended. And secondly, I'm told, even though they've acted against you in the last few days, even today, the contract hasn't been cancelled.
Thank you very much, Karan, for saying what I would have said. This is exactly what the situation is like. But as I say, let's wait for the report. Let's see what the ACB thinks about it. And then we'll take a call on it when it comes. But I am absolutely confident and very sure that we did nothing that was wrong. In fact, we did something that helped the people of Delhi get cleaner and better water.
In fact, regarding this particular bit about Arvind Kejriwal failing to cancel the contract when he first alleged that the deal was corrupt, and that was 11-12 months ago,
yeah.
Vijender Gupta, the BJP leader of the opposition, has separately filed a complaint with the Lieutenant Governor alleging Arvind's corruption in the matter, and that too has been sent to the ACB. Do you think that in the end, If Arvind manages to suggest that there's a case against you, then he's also suggesting there's a case against himself.
Yes, exactly. Because there's a member of the BJP also in the board of the Dal board. But I would say one thing, and I would request you to say that, let's wait for things to come out, because these are all politically motivated. Both the BJP as well as Kejriwal, these are totally politically motivated. That's the word I can use as strongly as I can.
In fact, given that it's so clear to you, maybe not to the audience, but to you, that this is politically motivated, are you surprised that Governor Jung actually sent this fact-finding report to the ACB? Because he was appointed by a Congress government. You were his first chief minister. He knows you as well as anyone else.
Yeah.
Are you surprised he sent it to the ACB, or did he have no choice in the matter?
No, he had no choice. He had to send it. And it's for the ACB to decide, and the ACB, whatever his system and style is, I don't know. But they will follow it up. But I don't think Mr. Jung did anything wrong, because he was bound to send it. It had been sent by the Chief Minister and as well as the BJP, as you said, so he had to send it.
So you're not upset or disappointed that Mr. Jung sent the report to the ACB?
No. I'm not upset.
There's no ill feeling.
I never get upset with somebody who's trying to do his duty.
Let's come to the second reason why you're in the news this weekend. It's speculation that you could either be the Congress Party's chief ministerial candidate in Uttar Pradesh or the new General Secretary in charge of Punjab. Of the two, which would you prefer?
You see, there's speculation. Nothing has happened here yet, and I've not been told anything about it. This is, of the two, you see, the time at our disposal is a little less than one would have liked. UP is a huge state, a very, very large, the largest state in the country. So if I was given a choice, which I will not be, and I don't assume that it will be, I don't even know whether I'm going to be offered these things, these two positions, I would prefer Punjab for the simple reason that it will be more manageable. And UP is too large, much too large.
Let's, however, for a moment, talk about UP and then I'll come to Punjab.
Yeah.
As Uma Shankar Dikshit's daughter-in-law, as a Brahmin, and as a former MP from Kanauj, you have undoubtedly excellent credentials to be the Congress's chief ministerial candidate.
It's not a matter of credentials, Karan. It's a matter of time. You see, the amount of time you have just now is about 8 months or so, right before you actually go into the elections. All the other parties, whether it is Bahujan Samaj or whether it is SP or whether it is even BJP, they've started their work and they're testing. Of course, if the party says that I have to go, I will go. I don't run away from anything. But time is a great constraint.
In addition to time, would you say that age is perhaps a problem? You're 78. Is that a factor in considering the choice between the two?
Well, I don't know. I haven't tested 78 yet. But I don't find age much of a factor as long as I can walk around, work around. And I don't find that much of a factor. But it's something that the High Command ought to take into consideration also. It's for them to decide. Not for me.
That I understand. Let's come to Punjab. I know you're born in Kapurthala, I know you're a Punjabi, but do you have the backroom strategic skills that are required of a General Secretary? You've been Chief Minister, which is the front face. A General Secretary is the back face.
Yes.
Do you have that experience? Do you have the skill to manage a General Secretary's role for a critical election like this?
Karan, why are you talking about experience? You gain experience. It's what commitment you have towards any job that you may give. I was never a Chief Minister before I became a Chief Minister. I was never an MP before I became an MP. I was never a minister in the government, Rajiv Gandhi, before I became. So everything is new. You learn as you go along. And whatever you have learned before, you tend to use that experience also. It becomes a, valuable gift that you received because you have had the opportunity.
So lack of experience isn't daunting as
far as... No. There's nothing like lack of experience in this.
I suppose the other concern, when you consider the possibility that you could become General Secretary of Punjab, is Amarinder Singh. Do you get on with him? Do you have a good relationship? Because not only is he the Pradesh Congress Committee President, but everyone says he's bound to be the Chief Ministerial candidate as well.
No, because he's being projected as such, and he's somebody I've known for decades, and there's been no occasion where we have felt that we were enemies. We've always been friends, so I don't think that will be an issue at all. I'd be happy, and I'm sure we'll get along, because remember, it's not our getting along, it's not our personal relationships, good or bad, which are at stake. It's Punjab winning the government over there, and we have a very, very, very good chance.
He's just lost a General Secretary in Kamal Nath. Have you discussed with him the possibility that you might be General Secretary in Kamal Nath's place? Have you had a chat with him at all?
No, I have not. That is the privilege of the party leadership, to appoint or, disappoint, as I say, appoint somebody or to request somebody to change. It's their privilege. We don't ask questions on that.
But the interesting thing, and you said it with winning honesty, is that of the two, you would rather be General Secretary of Punjab.
As I said, time being what it is, and UP being very, very large, if I was given a choice, I don't doubt if I'll be given. Whatever I'm told to do, I will do. But if I'm given a choice, certainly I would prefer Punjab.
One last question about Punjab. Increasingly, it seems that the 21 Aam Aadmi Party MLAs in Delhi are likely to be disqualified, which means there will be something like a mini election taking place in Delhi, and it will either be just before the Punjab polls or it will be alongside the Punjab polls. Either way, do you believe this would be a handicap for the Aam Aadmi Party, and B, because of that, an advantage for Congress?
It would be an advantage. No, would be an addition, could be, as if the way you have said it, it could be an advantage for the Congress. But I'll tell you, there's an advantage for the Congress anyway, even if there were no Punjab elections. Because the track record of Mr. Kejriwal has not been what people expected it to be. Free water, lot of, cuts in Bijli, all that is happening. So the truth is coming out now, that the promises have not been fulfilled and are not going to be fulfilled because they cannot be fulfilled. So I think that is Mr. Kejriwal and his party stand exposed, and that message is going to Punjab also.
So the disillusionment with Anjit Kejriwal that you suggest exists in Delhi will work to your favor in Punjab?
Yes, certainly.
Let's come at this point to the reorganization that's happening within the Congress party. It's happening at a time when most people say we're weeks or at least just months away from Rahul Gandhi taking over as president and a new generation of younger leaders coming to the fore. Yet when you look at the two people who've been made general secretaries, Kamal Nath and Ghulam Nabi Azad, they're both very close to 70. And then there's talk of you, and forgive me, I'm not stressing your age, but at 78 becoming either the chief ministerial candidate in UP or general secretary. And people say, what's happened to the generation shift? Has that been forgotten, sidelined, postponed?
No. I'm afraid you're looking at it too technically, that you're 60 plus or 70 plus or 80 plus or 90 plus or whatever. It's how useful you are. Experience also is very important. And young blood, new thinking, new kind of fire in the belly is also very important. But you have to combine the two. And Congress has always done that. It happened at Indiraji's time, it happened at Rajiv's time, it happened at Sonia's time also. The generational change does take place. The old go away and the younger ones come on. But remember, a combination of both experience and novelty, modernity, new ideas, that combination has to be brought around. And I think the Congress has always done that. Don't say that the young alone are going to come up or the old alone are going to be driven out. There's always a combination. I mean, how can you, suspect Ghulam Nabi's experience? He's done well. So, and he's all right, he's fit.
But then I want to ask you this, will Rahul take over in the foreseeable near future, or is his taking over getting postponed and pushed back?
No, how do you say it's being postponed or pushed by? This is the privilege that Mrs. Gandhi, the working committee and all the grown-ups here and everybody else, they will take a call on that. Mrs. Gandhi has to take the final call and Rahul has to take the final call. But everybody, the media keeps on jumping to conclusions that it's happening next week, it's happening in a month or two. Wait on, let them take a decision. He's already the vice president, and when the time comes, he'll become the president.
Let me ask you a critical question, because you've worked closely with Rahul, you've known him, and you've virtually seen him grow up. Has he got the talent to dig Congress out of the hole it's in? Because at the moment, you have 44 seats in the Lok Sabha, which is less than a tenth of the Lok Sabha. You've got 6 states, if you add Pondicherry, you've got 7, but people say chances are that when elections are held, you lose Himachal and Karnataka and you'll be down to 4. Has Rahul got the talent, the skill to dig you out of that hole?
Are you putting the responsibility of 44 seats or 100 odd seats on Rahul? Please don't do that. Everybody, all of us are responsible for this. It's an organization which is a democratic organization, and each one of us works. If I win because of myself. If I lose because of you. That's not a lot.
No, I'm not making him responsible for the fact you fell down to 44, but I'm saying that the prime responsibility to get you out of 44 and back to par will have to be his.
I personally have a lot of faith in him. Give him an opportunity. He hasn't got the full hand, open freedom that he should take. And after that, we should be able to judge him. Nobody thought that Rajiv Gandhi would be the kind of prime minister and will start the 21st century. What is happening today is all the foundation laid by Rajiv Gandhi. Nobody expected that, but it happened.
I can accept the argument, give Rahul time. When he's in the seat, he'll be able to handle the challenge he faces. However, one can only judge by how he's handled challenges up till now. Now, at the moment, Congress faces dissension in a numerable number of states. It happened in Arunachal, in Uttarakhand. Your governments fell, but you're lucky you came back to power in Uttarakhand. You have dissension in Meghalaya, in Manipur, in Haryana, in Himachal. Almost in every state, you have serious dissension. Rahul Gandhi, as vice president, has not been able to tackle it. Why would he be any better if he becomes president?
No. He's vice president. Please remember that. And there are many people who are giving their views and having their say. And it's an important working committee, and there are so many senior members there. He will. But I have the fullest confidence. I can't talk about the future. I would say that yes, I know the future, but I have full confidence and faith in him because I know that he's learnt his lessons. Given a chance, given an open field, he will perform much better than today. We blame him for everything, which is not fair.
Are you saying that because you've known him virtually from the time he was a child and you like him, and it would be hurtful not to be confident in him, or are you saying it because you genuinely believe it? In other words, are you being kind? Or are you
I'm not
speaking from conviction?
No. I'm speaking from conviction and hope. Hope and conviction both. Because I do know he has it in him. He hasn't got the opportunity to get that kind of field, open field to do. So let him get that.
So opportunity will make it the man?
Yes, I think so.
Let's come to a comment that Amarinder Singh made recently on television. He said, today a time has come for the Congress to decentralize, that more power must be given to what he called its regional satraps. Would you agree with that? You've been a regional satrap. Would you agree that chief ministers need to be given more autonomy and a freer hand?
This is being talked about. This is also being talked about. Changes are also being talked about, that we need to rejig the whole thing now. And Mr. Digvijay Singh, I think, has said somewhere that we need to reinvent the convents. There are times in history when you require these kind of things. We need to change because history is not the same. It isn't the same in the 70s as it was in the 20th, 21st century, and so on and so forth. So it has to change. There is a need, I also believe, that we should have a relook at ourselves. Do we decentralize or do we make it more this thing? Decentralization is one of the issues that is worrying people. They all feel that let the local satraps look after them because they know best, give this to them. But so far, there haven't been many takers for this. But eventually the whole thing has to be taken, this decision has to be taken by all these senior people and some junior people sitting there together and sorting it out. But it's a matter of what the Congress wants to do. I don't think that you can give a time slot to it and say, okay, all right, this will happen in June, this will happen in July, and so on and so forth.
You've been very honest in answering this question. Can I ask you another? Are you personally in favor of decentralization? Are you personally in favor of giving more powers to what are called satraps?
As a person who has worked in a state also, and as a person who has worked at the center also, I do feel that it has to be a workable, progressive style. You know, the center must get some powers, particularly if it happens to be the same party, you guide them. And secondly, I also feel that the states themselves must be given as much freedom as it is possible, provided they don't go out of the ambit of the Congress ideology.
That's a very good proviso, but it also means, does it not, that the present influence, role and power of the Gandhi family at the apex of Congress will change. It may not diminish, but it will change. The relationship between the Gandhis and regional satraps will be different to what it is at the moment.
No, I don't think it's been like this always since Indiraji's time. Nehruji was different, but Indiraji's time it has always been like this. We work together, and I don't think there have been any kind of conflicts. And because, remember, the leader, whether it is Sonia Gandhi or whether in future Rahul Gandhi, they always listen to what the particular requirements of a particular state are.
But in a sense, you put your finger on it. Since Mrs. Gandhi's time, the relationship between the center, the high command as they call it in Congress, and the regional satraps has been more or less the same. In Pandit Ji's time, it was a different relationship. He was supreme as prime minister, but he had very powerful, autonomous, independent chief ministers. And are you, in a sense, when you say decentralization should be considered, more power should be given to satraps, suggesting that you go back to the Nehruvian time?
No.
Example.
But the Nehruvian leaders were of a different class, of a different kind.
You don't have them today?
You can't. By class, I don't mean the quality. It was different. Their training was different. They had come through the freedom struggle. Where do you get a chief minister today who's come from the freedom struggle? So their thinking, their way of looking at things, looking at modernity, it's very different. So please don't compare these. This is what I'm not able to understand. Why everybody is comparing. This is what happened then. This is why it is not happening now. It's bound to change. It's bound to change.
So can I sum it up?
It has to change. And if it didn't change, then you all would be the first one saying, the Congress lives in its old world.
Can I then sum it up like this? There is need for decentralization. There is need to empower regional satraps more.
Yes.
But you can't go back to what it was in Nehruji's time.
No, it can't, because the times are different. The requirements are different.
But you need to evolve beyond what was established by Indira Gandhi. You need more flexibility because times have changed today.
Yes, you need more flexibility. You need to work with the times. We need to work. Look at what Sonia Gandhi did. Sonia Gandhi was just the president. She wasn't the prime minister. Within the party, she was the most important person. And within the government, the prime minister was the most important government. That was something that evolved in Manmohan Singh's time and in Sonia Gandhi.
Well, running out of time, let me put this to you, and this may well be the last issue. Can this reorganization, this restructuring, can this decentralization, I'm talking about all three together, happen in time to give a new Congress to the country ready for the 2019 elections? We've only got 3 years left, and 3 years can pass very quickly.
I can tell you one thing, that you will see a new Congress and we will come back to power in 2019. How much that power will be, whether it will be 300 seats or 250 seats or 240 seats, I cannot say just now. But we certainly will, because of what is happening in the country today and the dissatisfaction of the words are not being converted into action. That dissatisfaction is rising.
But you know, when you said it could be 240, 250 seats, that suggests you'll come back to power either as a minority government or a coalition.
No, it could be a coalition. I don't want to go into that. I just said it because, some number I had to say. It could be 290, it could be 300, it could be 200, anywhere. It's difficult to say just now.
And if and when, I'm deliberately using the word if, I know you won't use the word if, but if and when you come back to power in 2019, will it be under Sonia Gandhi or under Rahul Gandhi?
That's something the family will have to decide, and the party collectively. If you remember, before Manmohan Singh became the Prime Minister, everybody wanted, the entire Congress wanted Sonia Gandhi to come into power, and she said no, she didn't want to come. Then their family will decide. I as a person feel for the future, I think Rahul Gandhi should be there.
And it's also possible Rahul could find his own Manmohan Singh too.
No, oh yeah, yes. But I am convinced that it will have to be Rahul Gandhi, because by the time 2019 comes, he would be about 48, 50 years old, or 48, 49 years old or something. And I think mature enough, having been through the vice presidentship of this great party.
This is Dikshit. A pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.